Hi, my name is Luciana Luli Brazil, and today I'm going to tell you all how did I meet my husband. Okay, there is a video in Portuguese too, if you want to learn that in Portuguese. Is live. Okay, now let's go. I was I was away from the internet chats and everything in the internet, just looking for my studies. I like just studying and only dedicating myself on teaching Portuguese literature, composition, philosophy, and sociology. And I just had finished my studies in the university as undergraduation course of languages and literature, Portuguese and English languages and literature. And in July 2004, a colleague from work asked me to find out if there was that pen pal friends, those letters in the magazines that people used to talk with the people they didn't know, to meet friends in the with that. And also there was that back then, to study English. So um, that friend he was about 60 years old, and that technology, those technologies he used, he knew were already considered outdated. For me, they were like adapted, not outdated. So I thought they would have that in the internet. So I made a search in the internet, and I found a website in English, pen pal, and there were those pen friends, but they could not be offline, just online. Of course, you could make a friendship in the internet and then send letters, but the beginning must be online, so he couldn't do it in his class. So he said, well, I don't need to use that. So I said, okay, so I don't need to. So I went to the website again because I needed to register to know those information, myself to know those information. So the next day I decided to unsubscribe because I had no interest on it. But when I got there, there was five boys, five guys asking me to talk. So I gave my MSN email because back then I had a lot of mail. I don't know. If, sorry, I had about 7 emails, so made it was no problem to give an email to anyone. So I gave my email and told them I had to leave the people, and if they wanted to keep contact, they could by that address I gave. So one of them was blind from Romania, and the other one was a Brazilian handicap who was Canadian citizen, and the one from Kenya, and two others that I lost the contact. I don't know why. The Romania had to leave the internet because after a while he had to leave the internet because he said his parents told him to move, to leave, to go. have a life by himself. And the Canadian went on talking to me. The Canadian, Brazilian Canadian naturalized the Canadian, right? And it was normal for me to talk with a person wheelchair because my husband, my brother, my elder brother was a handicap, so for me it was just natural. So after 1 month talking to him, he asked me to be my boyfriend. I said okay, and he talked to me every day, every day after work. I arrived, he was already there waiting to talk. So after 1 month, he asked me if I would marry him if he come to Brazil. I said he had to meet me first. We had to meet each other to know each other better so we could date, because I was not going to make the same mistake again of make a date to marriage without knowing the guy. Once I did that and the guy never showed up, but it's another story. So he said, I'm not those guys. And I said, every guy say I'm not those guys. And okay, next month he said, if I go there, will you marry me? And I said, the same answer. And the next month he said, I bought the ticket to go there. But what about if I get there and you don't marry me if you don't? And I said, what about if you don't want to marry me? That's is the same. Like you just know my city because you know our country because he is Brazilian, but he doesn't know my city. So okay, who will be there waiting for me? And I said, me and my father. Was not true. um, when he arrived on the December, he arrived, and there was me, my father, my mother, my older brother, my younger brother, a priest, you can call father of the Catholic Church. That was my friend, and a friend of him, of my friend, a friend of that priest, who is priest also, asked him what was he doing there in the airport. Was he going to travel? And he said, no, I'm waiting the boyfriend of that girl. He's from abroad, and she's waiting for him. He said the story that I just told you. And he said, I will wait. I want to know the end of the history. And a friend of my mother who works in the airport saw us, asked them, they said that the history to him, and they said, I'm going to wait to see the end of the history too. So when the guy arrived, there was lots of people waiting for him, and he got shy. Then we took him to the hotel that he wanted to stay. Not a hotel, it's a hostel. He stayed there next to the beach. He didn't want to be here because, of course, he was afraid. Okay, then at night we had the fire, I'd say fireworks, because it was the end of the year. And he asked me again, will you marry me? I got the like, you just read me. In 1 month, you ask me that question, and I can answer you knowing that you know me and I know you. Okay, next month, he said, you have to answer me, otherwise I have to go. And I said, yeah, you can buy the house, or rent a place. We are going to make the course for fiancé in the church, and you have to talk to my parents. So he talked to my parents. He had to drink a little bit to ask them my hand. Is my we say here the hand in marriage, and we got married, and we are married. It has already 14 years. We are happy till now. Okay, thank you for watching. May God bless us always.